Australia's a small player in all of this, and the Prime Minister has said that time and time again. He's almost used it as an excuse up until now not to push towards recognition. But the pressure was building. We had France doing it, Canada doing it, the UK. Australia was clearly coordinating with all of these countries. I think possibly the next one to keep an eye on would be Japan. We heard the Prime Minister say that he had spoken to Japan's leader. So there is a global sort of consensus that more needs to be done, that a red line has been crossed, and that enough is enough. But at the same time, this is symbolic. It's not going to change anything for people in Gaza tomorrow on the ground, but it's certainly a sign that the rhetoric is changing, that there is a shift in the public mood and opinion towards Israel. This has been going on for a long time, but right now it seems as though the world is sort of quite fed up with all of it.
You've lived in Gaza, as we've spoken just earlier. What are the people in Gaza likely to think about Australia's announcement? Does it matter to them?
Look, first of all, I would say people in Gaza are focused on one thing, and that is trying to get food. And as much as we like to sit here in Australia and think people in Gaza are watching what we're doing and thinking and feeling more hopeful and all of this, I think the bottom line is they're waking up every day trying to work out how they'll get food to their family. That is the reality in Gaza. Having said that, when we had the big protest over the Harbour Bridge, I did have messages from some of my old colleagues and some friends there, and they were quite stunned to see it. They said, you know, that is amazing that we've seen that in Australia, tens of thousands of people. And so in that respect, I think it makes them realise that the world hasn't entirely forgotten them. But at the same time, on the ground, nothing is changing. You know, very little food is getting in. Israel says there are more trucks, there are aid drops. We know that this is a drop in the ocean. So I think for Palestinians, this is all part of the diplomatic manoeuvring that's going on the side, when all they want is a ceasefire and an end to the war. And no one's talking about a ceasefire. That's all fallen apart. You know, we had those discussions underway in Qatar time and time again. They fell apart. The Israelis blamed Hamas. Hamas blamed the Israelis. So we can have all of the recognition that we like, but no one is talking about ending the war right now. But I mean, what does this all mean in the middle of a war? People are still being killed. We had 5 Al Jazeera journalists, including their driver, killed today. Most days we're hearing reports of 50 to 100 people killed in Gaza. And I think while we sit here and get very excited about this news of potential recognition by various countries, including Australia, we have to take a pause and just remember what's happening in Gaza. And for now, none of this is making any difference to the issue of starvation, or as the UN hunger body says, on the brink of famine. So perhaps the real focus and the real pressure should be on trying to get trucks and aid into Gaza. And who has the power to do that? It is Israel, the occupying country that controls the borders. So recognition is one way to do it, and that's the path that Australia is going down, so it seems. But there needs to be just a stronger focus on trying to get food to people. Yeah, I guess the discussion that we've been having today is that there are fewer international levers to be pulled that expectations that countries feel as though that they have. There is discussion about the US and where it goes from here. Can a Palestinian statehood have any meaning without the US? Well, no, because the US, for starters, can veto it anyway. I mean, we already have 140 countries, more than 140 that recognise Palestine and have done for years. The reason these countries are getting so much attention, France, Canada and the UK, is they are G7, they are big countries, important countries, major allies of Israel, and that indicates that there is this significant shift underway. The other really interesting country is Germany. Germany on the weekend announcing that it would no longer send arms to Israel. I mean, Germany has been one of the staunchest supporters and advocates, of course, of the State of Israel because of the historical position of the Holocaust. So I thought that was really significant that they had come out and said that. But yeah, I mean, the big picture for Australia is this doesn't immediately change anything, but it is part of the bigger picture.